Alright guys, well, so time for the backup plan for the air compressor since the AC pump is no good. I'm going to go ahead and reuse my electric one that I had before. So with today's video, we're just going to go ahead and get that all set up and get my air all back up and running, because it's kind of nice to have to pump the tires up and down as needed. So anyhow, let's go ahead and get started on this thing. Basically what I have is just a Vixen train horn air compressor that's a 100% duty cycle. It works really well. Not as well as an air conditioning compressor, but it works pretty well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a box to put it in, so that way I can mount it underneath of the truck or something along that line. Maybe in the bed, I'm not sure. I just know that if water gets inside of here, I already ruined one of these because it froze and it busted the case on it. So anyhow, so that was the plan, is to get this thing mounted up. So I'm gonna have to finish the box and then we'll go ahead and mount it on the truck. All right, so in the middle of the making the box for the air compressor and all that, I had an epiphany. I thought, you know, I had that toolbox in the back of the truck forever. It carried all of my tools and recovery gear and all that. Why not put the air compressor in there? So after a bunch of trial and error, I decided to go ahead and give that a go. So it took me a while to figure it all out. So let me show you what I've got. Okay, so I had this box in the back of my truck when I had the 22R in the back of it, and unfortunately where the radiator and the fuel cell and all that went, I couldn't put it back there anymore. So the more I thought about it, the more I was like, man, I really need this thing to be in here again. It just makes a lot more sense. Granted, I wanted to build a box under here and have a nice tilt thingy and all that, but at the end of the day, I'm really not going to do anything with this. So I figured, what the hell, I'm just going to go ahead and carve it up and see if I can make it fit. Well, I carved it up and made it fit. And so what I ended up doing is I mounted the air compressor inside of here, because I was really concerned about that thing getting wet. These things do not like to get wet. And if I get in mud or water or anything like that, the last thing I want to do is ruin that. So I thought, well, you know what the hell, we're going to go ahead and mount it here, which putting it back here made a lot of sense, because the battery is right there. Well, actually, I guess it doesn't matter because the switch is inside the truck, but the tank is literally right there. So my air hose is going to be maybe a foot long. It just really made a lot of sense to put it back here. So what I did is I ended up making some brackets real quick to mount it to the bed. I just kind of shittily tack welded those on there. It sits inside of there, so it shouldn't move. So I figured, what the hell? We'll just go ahead and do that, and why not? So that's what I ended up deciding to do. So that way I can put all my shit in here, all my recovery gear, my tools and everything, and close the lid. The lid opens and closes like it's supposed to. I mean, if I happen to roll it over and hit all this, I didn't pay anything for this. This came with the two-wheel drive truck back in, well, when we did the swap 10 years ago. So once I got that done, then I figured out, okay, well, I had my high lift jack here, so where the hell am I going to put it? So what I did is I took a nut and I ground it down and drilled a hole in the frame and just pounded it in there and tack welded it into place and put some nuts in there, or bolts, sorry. And got the jack in there, which is really neat because you can't even see it, so it's not going to hit nothing or get screwed up or anything like that. And I'm probably going to put more stuff back here eventually, but I got that done as well because I want to try and go wheeling next weekend, so I want to get all of this done. I got to have air. I already got the winch set up, and I got to have a jack, and now I just got to figure out where the hell to put that big old heavy-ass tire. To be continued. Hey guys, well, it's the next day, and so what we're going to do is wrap up the air compressor. And one other thing on my checklist is I want to get this, get my oven back on the motor. So I'm going to go ahead and get that all squared away. I figured out where I want to put it, so I'm going to use those two studs right there. I'm just going to use a piece of angle and we'll get her set in there, something like that. That way I can have a nice warm meal whenever I want to. And I was going to make a nice one because I built this one a long time ago for my 22R, but you know, if it ain't broken, don't try to fix it. It's ugly as hell, but it's very effective. So I figure screw it, we'll just go ahead and run this. So anyhow, what I got to do is I got a piece of angle here, and to get it to fit between the manifold, just got to kind of cut the corners off because of the shape of the manifold. Drill a couple holes, and boom. Then modify this to fit the bottom of that, and we should be good to go. So let's go ahead and get after it. See if this is precision guesswork. Oh my God, look at that, it fits. Right on. Alright, so now what I have to do is I'm going to cut this shorter so it'll fit underneath of the oven. Shouldn't be a big deal. I haven't done a lot of videos like this because I usually, I don't know, I just don't Alright, so there it is. I got the oven all mounted in there. Nice and rigid. Good to go. Doesn't hit the air cleaner or nothing like that. Fantastic. Now that I got that all squared away, I guess I just got to finish up the air compressor. Just got to bolt it in. So I ran the hose from the tank and got the ground wire. So what it is, use the ground wire on the pressure switch. Come on, Mike, operate the camera. There we go. So this will ground out the compressor, and then I'm going to run the positive to the last remaining toggle switch I have on my switch panel. And so I'll run that and then ground this wire and hook this up to the other end of this. So, finally got this all done. You can see I got it all wired in, pressure switch and all that. Screwed it all down, it's nice and tight. I built a little barrier here so I can put all my tools and parts and shit in here. And I can still use most of this to store stuff, which I'm gonna need. Alright guys, well thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And make sure to hit the like and subscribe button if you get a chance. Really helps me out if you could do that. And I got a special announcement about the truck. We finally named it. It took us a while, but I wanted to come up with something that was, you know, I don't know, that wasn't stupid or already done. So actually this may be already been done too, but I haven't seen it yet. So we got a sticker made up for it, and so we're calling her the Lexota. That was about the most clever thing that I could come up with. So anyhow, I'll be referring to the truck as the Lexota from now on, and probably should have named it in the beginning, but just couldn't think of anything that was clever enough. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.